All right, in the image in front of you, you can see that I have what's called a work plane. That work plane is created on the surface of this green triangle, or pyramid, whatever that shape is. Anyway, the work plane tool can be kind of handy, and to show you where it's at, I'll just kind of scroll over here to the top right-hand side of the screen, and you'll see I have a work plane tool. So if I select the work plane tool, probably the most important thing is if I go back to my original work plane and click the mouse, it takes me back to my original work plane. If I wanted to, for some example, create a number of objects on this surface right here, I could create a new work plane on that surface, and then anything I create would go onto that surface at that angle. Now, that might not seem very important at first. However, whoops, I don't want to do that. Come on, computer. However, when you think about the fact that if you didn't have the ability to do this, you would need to tilt everything and move everything and get everything into position, and I'm pretty good at it, but it would take you a little bit of time. So in the interest of just showing you how to be more efficient, I think the best way is to show you this. So here's a sphere. With the work plane tool, I could create a work plane perpendicular to this object at any location along any one of the facets or sides of the sphere. Okay, so if I rotate it to the side, you'll see I just created a work plane that just kind of touches at one spot of that sphere. And then, if I do something like this, I can bring this, I can bring this through, make it a little bigger, and then when I select both and group, I can get an object that otherwise would be very difficult to create. So the work plane tool is designed so that you can create objects on a secondary work plane. And again, this is maybe less critical in Tinkercad, but when we get into our next piece of software, you're going to see that work planes are really, really handy because we won't be working with primitives anymore. You'll have to draw shapes and lines and things to work with work planes. So again, the work plane tools here at the top right. If I click on the original work plane, it returns to that work plane surface. If I select the work plane tool again, I can even go inside, and everything I'm creating is now down in on that surface. Again, what I just did, if you were watching, is kind of difficult to do in the event that you were doing it some other way. So that's the work plane tool. That's our quick little lesson for Tinkercad. Thanks.